creating events for staff, events for the city itself, and actual tours. And, you know, a little kind of a fixed bus route type thing.
Okay. Anyone else? Let me rehash it for you. Someone likes the vibe, the historic feel, the benefits for the residents to be able to get around and decrease the traffic. Someone that says the potential use of it from parades, tours, the historic district, the fixed routes, so forth. What else?
And I do like what you said, and I like all the comments, but it also, although it gives you this hometown feel, it also has a modern slash hometown feel. So you got the lights in there, you got all the amenities in there that you would have on a regular bus, except for the, you know, the long string to pull.
It was on the side.
It was on the side. Oh, I missed that. So you have all, you still have those things that, you know, but you have a different look and a different feel when you walk.
Okay. Hope had her hand up, and then council member.
I like that the trolley is an experience on its own, independently, and then also the accessibility interest is addressed immediately, and then with some of what Phil is going to let us know what options we have, there might be some additional accessibility components that we might be able to add.
Okay.
I say connectivity. It connects us from the South Point area to the downtown area.
Okay, connectivity. Anyone? Yes.
Also, when I think of a trolley, I think of a track, and this is not on a track, so if we have to change the direction or location or whatever in the future, we would be able to.
So it's versatility. Council member.
Yeah, when I think about it, look at Columbus, Georgia, I mean, we have sometimes, you know, and Savannah, Georgia. They drop off shop and the car.
Okay.
I want to hear from our South Point family.
Well, as someone that lives in Henry County, I mean, everything that y'all said, I agree with everything. The hometown feel, I mean, you know, that's a whole reason why a lot of people move down to McDonough is that feel. I know, you know, I lived in McDonough 25 years, and I feel that way, you know, just to have that and to have access to that.
Okay.
And it is different. You don't see that in our city.
Hometown feel. Anyone? Any other comments?
And I was just going to say the enthusiasm, I think, is contagious. When Hope reached out like a week ago to Lisa, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. And then I think just, you know, all the hiring you're doing, Mayor, to like kind of bring the talent to City of McDonough and all the ideas y'all have, I think is amazing. So
Right.
I just think it brings a lot of excitement. And I mean, I'm sure to make people look, did you see that trolley? I know, so that's already I wanted to start waiting.
Awesome. All those are great reasons why we want to move in this direction. I do want to say a couple of points on it as well, and that is that the comp plan actually had envisioned that this would happen. Okay? So what the city is doing is trying to implement the ideas that came out of the community meetings about why don't we get a trolley that goes from the Main Street Historic District and connect us to South Point. Okay, what's great about it is that we have to echo again is that there was negativity toward buses. So we have to explain to people that this has the enthusiasm, the excitement, the hometown feel. It makes us unique. It's like Savannah. It's like whatever. So that people understand the benefits of it. And council member said it also gives us an alternative and an option of not getting in the cars. If more people get on this trolley, that means they don't have to drive from South Point down to the historic district. So we may have just taken 20 cars off of the road just by having the one trolley. So that's the benefits of it. So it's incumbent upon all of us to echo that to the constituents so they understand what the vision is of the city and where we're going. So there's always positive. So let's just say what might be a potential negative of the
Traffic congestion.
Traffic congestion is still a potential. Okay? What else?
No negatives.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I said no negatives.
maybe needing some funding to make some amendments to some of the transportation issues.
Some funding. How do we make it work? say beautification? And beautification. But how do we make it work? So that whole cost of it, is there a way that we can leverage it? Can we get some corporate sponsorship?
Yes.
Can we get some grants to it? Can we get South Point to participate? Can we, oh, I'm sorry.
So it's not a spot.
Yeah.
So because it's part of our comp plan, we could possibly get some grant funding from some various agencies along with some of our corporate sponsors that could be part of the development of what we do in terms of the routes.
Right. And I think what's important is for us to know, based on the size of the vehicle, then what is going to be the best route, and if we have to make adjustments to the turning radiuses or whatever, or the parking lots and stuff to make sure that it works as well.
I think a con would be, I don't know how fast the trolley goes, but if it doesn't keep up with traffic, you know, it could cause traffic.
Okay.
It goes faster than I drive. That wouldn't be an issue. But you also.
It's a trolley, it's not supposed to go fast.
You also don't really want to drive fast because then passengers are uncomfortable. So I guess you kind of have a point there.
And then another thing that we could do in terms of looking at just development and walking trails along various areas, this could be a part of a bigger master plan to incorporate that in there for walkability. So we're gonna get grants in terms of being a healthy community with that. So this trolley, I see it plan onto a lot of different parts of what we do every day.
Yes.
And this is a pro, but let me add, but maybe a pro or a con. Is that trolley, is it energy efficient? Is it an EV?
It's a gas vehicle. You know, it's a Ford gas vehicle. So they do make them in compressed natural gas as well. That's an option.
I can give you some feedback on the style of this particular trolley is what is more in alignment with the city's aesthetic for the hometown feel. The EV, the electric vehicle options, they look a lot more modern than what I believe we wanted to lean into at this time.
That small town feel, this is just another way in which to increase that. So I love that. I love everything about this.
And while we were on the tour, I was jotting down some potential places that I think that the trolley could stop. But based on you guys knowing the city, then we can always say the square. But how did you like the Heritage Park location as a potential stop? How did you like, did I bring my paper in? The train depot area for a stop. What do you think about redeveloping the Snapper building complex into something like Punk's Market?
Yes.
And having a stop at that location.
Absolutely.
The government buildings as well as Crescent Technical. If students are at the school and they're coming out and getting a face in that particular area, they build a building right there. The students would have access to downtown or South Point. Maybe that could be a stop. The whole Lake Dow area actually could be a potential stop. Because there's plenty of parking there in the lot where people say, okay, I'm shopping, but now I want to jump on the thing. I don't want to get in the traffic. I'll just ride the trolley. Let me ask you a question though. Should the trolley, the Hood Street Arts District, if we really bring that to fruition, then that could potentially be a stop as well. So there's a lot of opportunities there, so you should give some thought to it, because the whole role of the trolley is to take people to where they want to go as far as a destination. Okay? It's not. Go ahead, Mayor.
One thought that I have is that we might lift out and elevate the tourism piece, because the county is actively engaged in working on transportation and fixed routes to take people to doctors, to municipal buildings, etc., etc. But we're highlighting our parks, we're highlighting our destinations. It gives us an incentive to make sure that we have destinations I love the fact that we are connecting our South Point community with McDonough because it is a part of McDonough. And so I think if we keep those pieces that prevent us from duplicating what the county is doing, then we're still spot on with what the community has said to us. So the only other thing that I'll add that is not a negative, but it's something that we have to consider, and that is our driver. You know, how do we make sure that we are equipped? Is that a City of McDonough staff person? Is it a contract? You know, how do we facilitate the driver? Not unless you guys have the autonomous cars available now or trolleys available where we don't have to have a driver.
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
Yeah, and that's great, and I love the whole point of benefiting on the heritage thing, but all in history, because you're right, we have on demand that we can call and get to the doctor's office, so we can get those trips. So we're not trying to duplicate anything that somebody's already doing. So this would be unique and make McDonough just stand out as different. People want to come here already and eat and experience the vibe, and that just takes us to another level. So we definitely need to look at the grant opportunities of how we can actually get this in place. But we'll talk more after we end the trip.